gonna do this video and post it, I don't care. Alexa, turn bedroom lights up to like 30%, please.
Okay.
Okay. I look crazy, but I'm going to sleep. I'm making this video because I just saw a video of one of those like videos people like go in public and like they tap, fake Apple Pay them, whatever, steal their money. People start tripping out or whatever. I want to speak on how the Draconians are using this. The Draconians and the Dracoraptors are using this to feed. Okay. So I'm going to just touch on certain things that I'm going to have to dive deeper in if you want. But basically, we all have living light. Your energy is what living light is. So when you're when you're happy, at peace, neutral, or you're optimistic, they cannot feed off your energy. That energy to their receptors is like pouring acid on a keyboard, okay? It fries their system. So they have to put you in a docile state where they could feed off your energy. So they can only feed off your energy when you're fear, doubt, anxiety, distrust, closed off, just what we perceive in this world as bad emotions or whatever emotions, experiences, they feed off of that, okay? So I feel like not understanding, like, well, I'm gonna just speak freely. I'm not gonna try to explain nothing. If you click on this video, then you already into what I'm already speaking on, you know what I mean? But so the top three that run our world is the Draconians, the Archons, and the Dracoraptors, right? Those are three that are like the top three. The Draconians and the Archnids. But the Archons they originally settled in Britain. That's why Britain wanted to own America, because America covers the heart. America sits on the throat chakra, okay? And Palestine sits on the heart chakra. That's why the Jews, not all Jews are Dracoraptors, okay? Not all of them are, but most Jews are Draconian and Dracoraptors, or a hybrid of that. And that's why they are in charge of the media. Okay? You look at it, Israel, Jews are behind everything media. And they also partner with America. Israel, and where Palestine sits on the heart of the world. America sits on the throat chakra. I think Britain is in the solar plexus. Yeah, Britain is in the solar plexus, sits on the solar plexus of the earth. Imagine that. Imagine how that's all tied in. So the Draconians feed off of, and I just hope somebody who knows history could help tie the actual 3D facts to what I'm speaking. Because I just know a few things, like a few details, but do your own personal research. But all through history, even down to what they used to describe like bad things happen in the world, they call it draconian or draconian event or something like that. That's what they call it in history or whatever. But the Israelites, the bad people even in the Bible, were Jews, and draconians have always been tied to the Jews. They're the reason for toxic male masculinity. Okay, they feed off of they're the reason for they're the how do I explain this? Put it better, Debbie. Okay. I'm trying to articulate myself in the understandable way, you know? But the Draconians, okay, the Archons and the Draconians are not physical entity. They live in the astral. They live in the in-between, okay? Ethereal, okay? We cannot see them. They're energies, okay? The energies live in our world. So you know when schizophrenic, you know, the people that be seeing stuff, them, when they be saying they see entities attached, or when pastors say they see demons on people or whatever, demons are not just Demons are not actual demons with horns and stuff. No, demons are the Dracoraptors. They look red and evil, and yeah, they're entities that attach to you. So let's say you're in a neutral state, right? And a situation, a person, a sentence, a experience puts you in a state of sadness, madness, anger, whatever the case may be, a docile emotion, a negative emotion. Those Draconians live in the in between. They see your vessel just leaking the energy out. They're coming, they're latching on, and they're feeding. And depending how in tune you are with yourself, depending how you grounded are in your peace, depending how you are proactive with your emotions in your life, you can be their forever source. Forever source. And I feel like, the Jews are behind why they wanted to buy TikTok and stuff. And the trend now going around, people are just rage baiting. Rage baiting is a new thing. Rage baiting is a new trend. Why do you think so? Because a lot of people are awakening. So they're thinking, how can we meet them in the middle while still feeding off of their energy? We're going to give them laughter while still giving us a source to feed off of. Meaning, person in the video, they're getting laughter, they're getting money, right? Which is what runs the world, money. Different topic. Not getting into that, right? Person, they're rage baiting, right? They're releasing this energy of like anger, confusion, sadness, embarrassment, whatever the case may be. And that entity is literally feeding off of them. Feeding off of them. Like the person recording the video is going around giving these entities new sources of food. Because people are not choosing to sit home and just, people are not, the world collectively, I'm not saying everybody's happy-go-lucky. The economy is what the economy is. But I'm saying it is more common as a society, as a world, to speak life into people, to see the best, to you see somebody down, automatically I'm praying for you. People actually speak. Words is power. Now it's common to see something bad, see something, even if you don't tell the person, to speak positivity or to just hope positivity. You're sending them that energy, right? The world is awakening. So they need new sources. So I feel like that's my thesis. That's my summary. I think on my TED Talk. But no, I feel like, I feel like rage baiting is the Draconians' new source of food, new source of living light. And I feel like with the Archons, Archons are the people as the entities in charge of fame, fortune. Archons, I told you, they sit on the solar plexus of the world. Think about it. The Britons are seen, the white people from Britons are seen as colonizing and making the whole world. They've been everywhere in the world, right? They've been everywhere. They've been everywhere in the world. They colonized everywhere in the world. They touched everywhere in the world, right? They were seen as a poster for beautiful. Poster as, the most beautiful accent. Seen as poster for beautiful accent. Seen as poster for like body, skinny, small, white, petite, all that. They sit on the solar plexus. So they had the solar plexus is your grounding, the grounding part of your, I'm going to have to dive into this deeper in a different video. I have to because, yeah. But basically, I feel like rage baiting is Draconians' new way of feeding. Rage baiting, and also, not just that, I have more to say. Also, I feel like narcissists are the Draconians' biggest feed, and kids now. If we look and see a lot of people right now, it might seem like self-control is out of hand, but that's if you're watching the news, if all you're seeing is people who are just kids who are just grabbing their parents' pew pew and doing stuff. Kids who are like the grape you eat but take off the G. Other 12-year-old kids, adults who are just getting mad enough and taking a pew pew and just going to the store and pew pewing somebody, or road rage. People are literally, the world is awakening, so they're amplifying the frequency, the way that the roads It's everywhere in the world. The world is being made up where traffic isn't bad. So everywhere, the airports are so backed up. They are amplifying the situations that make us release the emotions they need to feed. Okay? Annoyance, anger, sadness, feeling like there's no good in the world, feeling like there's no outcome, just those down emotions of not God perspective, because God perspective is love and peace. Okay? God, no matter, because whatever, my personal opinion, everything I talk about is from my life experience, okay? I feel like whatever God allows, he has the last say, meaning if God allowed me to be homeless, if God allowed me to lose my car, not lose my car, but what, like something happened to my car, whatever, is part of his plan. So to me experiencing it, me knowing a human who was able to experience emotions, thoughts, feel, touch, I'm tied to this reality. Me experiencing it, I cannot see God's perspective. A God from the overhead seeing the all ins and out, he can see like, he don't see him allowing me to get into a car accident is bad. He's like, hey, I need you to sit down because I need you to do X, Y, and Z. I need you said you was going to do this, work on your business. You said you was going to do this. You didn't. I need you to put you in a place where you're so emotionally distraught that you wanted to stay home. And then now you're looking at your computer. Now you're researching stuff. Now you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? It was part of his plan. So he didn't see it as a bad thing. He saw it as a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I said about the Draconians, right? And look back to history. The Draconians are the people who, like, they have hierarchy in their dimension, in their earth cell. I'm sorry, something lashes in my eye. But they have hierarchy in their earth cell, in their dimension. So, like, in their world, if we tie back to our history, back in history, like the 1800s, 1700s, you know what I'm saying? Back then or whatever, when it was the Jews and the Britons and they had the kings and the queens and stuff like that. And they used to like hang people by their heads and mutilate them, and just the gruesomeness that came with our history ties back to Jews. And I'm not saying all Jews. I'm saying no, I think it's 7. It's 7. I have a notebook with the 3D names. I wrote, because I did research and stuff. This is like, as I dive into whatever, but I could be sitting and God would send something to me that connects something that he already showed me. Like, it's just, I meant to release this. The other day, I went to go look up, I was looking up free car washes, going to wash my car, whatever. I go to my Safari, the word Wave was typed in. I did not type that shit in. I don't know where the fuck that came from. I'm looking at them like, talking about some, electrical magnetic, it could read. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, God typed that in my freaking search bar. I'm over here to type a YouTube video. I'm seeing, he's basically showing me how AI is able to see us, and how AI is deeper than this. The Archons are using it to try to feed off of our living light, our attention. They feed off. It's just so much, and I want to make it different topics, but it's all interconnected. I just can't help but just I'm a yapper, so I just be it's just all like, sorry. Back to the Draconians, okay? But in our history, they're the brutal ones. So like, men who grab women and are aggressive and like to take what they want, they are literally a feeding ground for the Draconians, okay? That toxic, the way our world is programmed, because the Jews program everything. The Britons and the Israels, the Jews, literally build our world, okay? The Latin words we use that create certain words: Monday, Tuesday, good morning, good evening, good night, graveyard shift. The word sentinel on cop cars, which actually the word translates to low scum of the earth, dirt, worthless. And that word is the company that's with the word written all over cop cars. Our world is programmed to have you get in the docile state from when you're a child. For example, trauma. So when you're an adult, it's easier for them to intercept your energy. That's what demons are. That's what the Draconians are. Our world is waking up, so they're trying different ways to try to do the same exact thing. The way that Trump got into office with the Jews' help, they need a new source. They're amplifying their level of, what's the word? Just brutality, that the energy of brutality so much, it's pushing people to the extremes of doing stuff to put them in jail. And when you get in jail, you're literally like another battery in their system. Like, yep, we got another one in our system. Because you sit in there and you're sitting there, just sitting, the energy just sitting there feeding off of all of y'all. All of y'all. But I was saying that to say something. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So these energies from a child put us in this docile state, so it's easier to feed. The world is waking up, so they're finding newer ways to feed. Okay, finding newer ways to put us in a state of not wanting to ascend, not wanting to be optimistic, not wanting to see more in the world, not wanting to have God perspective. And God perspective is seeing the good no matter what, manifesting the good by thinking the good. So that's why the Jews, the Draconians, are in charge of the media, everything. You ever seen that one clip where it's over 30 different channels across different states and they're all saying the same exact thing? They push the same narrative for a reason to all of us, for a reason to make us receptive, for a reason, okay? And with Trump getting into office, the way they're amplifying is so bad to people are literally, the way that white women, some white men are waking up. If you go watch the videos, go look it up, go on TikTok, look it up, go on YouTube. I'm not making this up. They literally, the words they're using to describe it, they say I feel like a cult. They felt like something was overtaking them. Someone said the way they saw their husbands turn into demons, the way they was following Trump, it was like they changed completely. Okay? They're amplifying the energy so much that some people, it's so heavy to where it's literally pushing the empathy out of them. Or it's so heavy on them where it's literally forcing the empathy to awaken from them. It's literally crushing them so hard to where the empathy awaken now they're sitting there crying, realizing I am racist. I am wrong for believing in Trump. I am wrong for not liking immigrants. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, for some people, it over consumes. I'm sorry, I stutter a lot, but please stay with me. But for some people, it consumes them so much to where they go to the extreme, okay? Those Nazis, they want to plan jumping the fence and they want to run through the streets and shout it and take women and R word, immigrants and you get what I'm saying? These energies feed off of that. Once they see you're in a state where it's a good in between, they latch on and they push you to the extreme. This new rage baiting thing is just a new way for the archons to feed. It's just a new way for them to feed. Some celebrities are going on tour right now. It's a new way for, not the archons, for the first one I said with the, when I said with the rage baiting was the Draconians. I meant that, my bad. Draconians for feed. But certain celebrities going on tour right now is a new way for the archons to feed. The archons are the ones in charge of beauty, fame, and fortune. You ever said, you know, when people say they sign and they sell their soul to the devil, they're different devils. They're different devils, baby. Different devils. Draconians, different devils. Okay? Archons, different devils. When you sign this on to the devil, no, they're just sharing their vessel, meaning This is a 3D vessel. Your soul is what exists and owns the vessel. Your soul, God gave that to you. Okay? Your soul is energy. Some people who get into fame, get to a level high, want more money, want a fast way out, even though God gave you this authenticity and gave you this voice or gave you this art or gave you what the case may be because it was part of your journey. But they get subdued by these contracts and this gold and food and luxury, because that's what the archons are. They created our world for people to strive. You know how the saying, get rich or die trying? That saying is made for us to be a battery in their system. Strive, yes. Lock into our system. You know what I'm saying? What we say is the way to get what you need to do. Work this job, go to college, do this. Mind you, behind all these things, they have put ways to have you feeling like you're indebted to the system, to make you feel like you're so stressed. They have contract with each other. The archons sell you a dream of fame, fortune. Draconians feed off of the debt that comes with that. The fear, the anxiety, the anger, the hurt, the downfalls, and push it harder. You have to choose to break out of that shit. But back to what I was saying, though. I think I'm done saying what I was saying. 21 long minute video, but if you're here, you stayed. But bye, y'all. Quite like you, but I lie.